What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. WWE Off The Script, episode number 9, your news and rumors for the week ending April 20th, 2014. I just got out of work. I just popped open a beautiful Samuel Adams. Let's read some news and rumors, but first, that is fucking delicious after a shit day at work, let me tell you. But before I get into that, guys, if you missed my Monday Night Raw review from the Ultimate Warrior Tribute Show, link is down below. I am also going to be meeting Justin LaBar from WrestleZone.com on April 28th, next Monday Night Raw. Not this coming Monday, the following Monday. The one right before the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. My buddy, Ariel, works at Public House on 41st between 7th and 8th Avenue in New York City. It's a bar. WrestleZone and Justin LaBar and a few other writers for the website are going to be there watching Monday Night Raw. It's $25. All you can eat wings and Bud Light and Budweiser, Coors Light, that kind of shit. All you can eat, all you can drink. So I'm going to be meeting Justin LaBar. Hopefully I get to chit-chat with him for a little bit. Maybe get a picture or two with him, you know, just tell him how I feel about his work, and maybe introduce him to my my YouTube site, my WWE stuff. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I can't wait for that. That's the Monday Night Raw before the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. So I will definitely let you guys know what's going on with that right before I go to the bar on Twitter. Just follow me down below if you're not following me on Twitter already. But news and rumors, I got a ton of shit for you guys. I got news on The Undertaker, I got news on Sting, I got news on CM Punk, I got news on this one, that one, what's happening with Lesnar at SummerSlam, what's happening with The Shield and Evolution. I got a ton of shit. So let's get right into it. But I'm going to start off with the biggest story of the week, in my opinion. And that is The Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania 30. What happened? Who knew? Why did it happen? And everything in between, okay? The secrets of The Undertaker's streak and his monumental loss at WrestleMania 30 to Brock Lesnar. Now, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, referee Chad Patton did not know that The Undertaker would be losing to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. He was told Taker was winning, but the rule every referee is told is that if the guys don't kick out, you continue the count. Right after the match ended, Lesnar whispered in Taker's ear, "Thank you." Apparently, the decision to end the streak was finalized on March 31st. Only a few people knew the outcome before WrestleMania Sunday. The group of people that knew were most likely Vince McMahon, Undertaker, of course, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. None of the agents were aware. The actual script for the show did not have a finish listed, but this didn't raise any red flags because that's not unusual for WrestleMania, and it wasn't the only match that did not have a finish listed. Whether or not The Undertaker is done, Vince was going on the assumption that this was his last match, and he could either win or lose. McMahon chose the idea that it's better to lose on your way out. Vince McMahon had a direct influence on the streak ending at WrestleMania 30. One person close to the situation said Vince talked about the streak and talked to The Undertaker into losing. Another person, who would also be in the know, described it as Vince making the call and The Undertaker agreeing, and that he wasn't talked into doing something he did not want to do. Losing was not Taker's original decision, but he was in on it and never protested the final decision. Perhaps he liked the thought in 2010. Remember back when everybody's saying that Lesnar was the one to end the streak, and the Undertaker had appointed Brock Lesnar back in 2010 to end it. The Wrestling Observer states perhaps like he thought in 2010, if he was going to lose, maybe he thought Lesnar was the guy to lose it too. There were many people within WWE very unhappy about the streak ending but could not say so publicly. There was a feeling backstage at WrestleMania 30 that Vince McMahon and others did not get the fan reaction they were looking for when The Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar. The shock was there, but they may have been looking for a more appropriate send-off for The Undertaker. They did not get the reaction that they had wanted when the 1-2-3 count was made and Brock Lesnar was declared the winner. I have reported before, okay, that The Rock is expected to work WrestleMania 31 next year and is the leading candidate for the 2015 Hall of Fame class. Word is, this week, that WWE is considering Brock Lesnar versus The Rock or Brock Lesnar versus Cesaro for WrestleMania 31. Another huge match that WWE has penciled in to their plans for this year's SummerSlam is Triple H versus Roman Reigns. News on Brock Lesnar as well, finally, for this big story to start off News and Rumors this week. Brock Lesnar is not booked for the Extreme Rules pay-per-view and likely will not be back until SummerSlam. There has been speculation that he will emerge and return to the WWE before SummerSlam and challenge Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight Championship. All of this is breaking news. This was reported earlier this week. Vince McMahon talked The Undertaker, according to the Wrestling Observer. This is a credible source. This is Dave Meltzer, okay? And the Wrestling Observer newsletter. The Undertaker was talked into losing the streak by Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon thought it would be best if The Undertaker was really leaving and The Undertaker was really done. It would be in his best interest to lose on his way out. Listen. You guys may disagree, you guys may agree. We talked up and down about the streak. I don't care that the streak is broken. I don't. I just didn't want to see the streak go out in the way that it did. I don't care that Brock Lesnar has the streak now. The WWE is leaving a lot of money on the table. If they want to leave all that money on the table, then so be it. You have a money match with John Cena waiting. If you wanted, with the streak on the line, they could have went that route. You got Sting, who can go against The Undertaker with the streak on the line. There's a money match there. You know? Undertaker gave the streak to Brock Lesnar. Fine. Lesnar may be the right guy in all of wrestling to have the streak just because he is Brock Lesnar. I spoke about this already. I'm not going to go into detail already. You guys can reference my older videos if you want to see my true opinion on the streak. Okay? But the way the streak went out, the way The Undertaker went out, was poor. It was absolutely terrible. If the streak was to be ended, it should have ended at WrestleMania 25. There was no better way for the streak to go out, in my honest opinion. That match was absolutely brilliant. It was fucking brilliance in the ring for half an hour between Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker. If you wanted the streak to go out at WrestleMania 28 in Hell in a Cell with Triple H, it could have went out there as well. According to Vince McMahon, he thought this was the best idea. Undertaker agreed to it. He was convinced by Vince McMahon to end the streak. Undertaker went with it. Listen, The Undertaker, I read a bunch of stories about The Undertaker saying that he's old school. You know, he wanted to relinquish the streak upon exiting the WWE anyway. He didn't want the burden. You know, he's of old school, losing on his way out. I don't think The Undertaker's done. I don't think The Undertaker should have went out like that. I don't think The Undertaker was portrayed anything at all the way The Undertaker should be at WrestleMania. Undertaker will be back at WrestleMania 31. Whether that's his last pay-per-view ever, I don't know. But he will be back at WrestleMania 31 because what is the sense of bringing in Sting if you're not going to put him against The Undertaker? There's no sense in bringing in Sting if you're going to put him, if you're going to have him wrestle one match. Who's the match going to... Nobody wants to see Sting versus John Cena. Nobody wants to see Sting versus Daniel Bryan or Batista, Triple H, this one, that one. The Undertaker. That's what we want to see. That's what's been talked about for years at WrestleMania. It should have happened when they released those cryptic promos with The Undertaker walking in the fucking rain and the woods with the trench coat. If you guys remember that. You know? those cryptic promos. And then, you know, that was all for The Undertaker's re-emergence back to the WWE for that WrestleMania. WWE left a lot of money on the table. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. This is the story that I gave you this week. This is the story, according to the Wrestling Observer, that was leaked about the streak. Then you got Triple H versus Roman Reigns, which I told you they were going to lead up to that. More than likely, that will happen at SummerSlam. The Rock versus Brock Lesnar next year. I do expect that to happen. I'd rather see Brock Lesnar versus Cesaro sometime later this year. I wouldn't want to see it at WrestleMania. I would rather see The Rock versus Brock Lesnar. It's more of a high-profile match. And Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. That's got money written all over it. You make Daniel Bryan a credible world champion. You build him up the strongest you've ever built him. Make him a unbeatable champion. Forget this underdog bullshit. Daniel Bryan has to prove to everyone that he deserves those belts. Okay? He's got to prove to everyone that he's the World Heavyweight Champion. He's got to win in convincing fashion, starting with Kane at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Okay? He beats Kane, he goes on to beat Orton, he goes on to beat Batista, he goes on to beat Triple H, and then all of a sudden, in the shadows, is lurking Brock Lesnar. He just beat all of Evolution. He just beat Kane. The Authority is done. Daniel Bryan's conquered the Authority. Brock Lesnar comes back. Automatically, he's the number one contender because he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. There's no way you're not going to grant this man a World Heavyweight Championship after fucking defeating the most herald streak in all of fucking professional wrestling. There's no way. Standing in Daniel Bryan's way next is Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Money written all over it. I can imagine those two putting on a great match. If CM Punk can bring if CM Punk can give Brock Lesnar a fucking 5-star match at SummerSlam last year, Daniel Bryan can do the same. I hope to God that happens. That would be a massive SummerSlam pay-per-view main event. Vince is worried about SummerSlam pay-per-view buys. There you go. Right there. People would eat that up for fucking weeks. That would be an amazing match. I hope it happens. That's your big story this week. While it's known that Stephanie McMahon isn't known to be a Paul Heyman girl, word from the backstage area is that Vince McMahon is very high up on Heyman right now. Heyman's work post-WrestleMania on Monday Night Raw was described backstage as that of a mastermind. Regarding Heyman being put with Cesaro, the idea is to use him to help bring along Cesaro on his push. While it didn't work out for Curtis Axel, the feeling is that it will work in the right situation for Cesaro. I think it'll work out. I'm just a little bit worried with Paul Heyman being such a master heel with Brock Lesnar after beating The Undertaker, because you know Brock Lesnar is the most hated man in fucking professional wrestling right now. He's working with Brock Lesnar, and then he's trying to be a face with Cesaro. But I got news on Cesaro later on in this episode. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I do like the pairing of Cesaro and Heyman. Cesaro could definitely use that mouthpiece to get him to the next level. And Curtis Axel, you know, I really wish it worked out with Curtis Axel. He's the son of Mr. Perfect. He's got all the fucking skills in the world to be in the wrestling ring. It's just that he's missing that skill on the microphone, and that's what pisses me off. Mr. Perfect was such a fucking natural on the mic. He was so great on the mic. I don't know why Curtis Axel can't fucking, you know, just channel his father and deliver on the microphone. That's his downfall, and that's why he's not succeeding in WWE, and that's why he's paired with fucking Ryback right now in a shit tag team. So I wish Curtis Axel worked out, but apparently that wasn't the case. News on CM Punk. WWE was selling new CM Punk merchandise at WrestleMania week in New Orleans. Punk is still getting royalties on his merchandise, which is very substantial. Okay? Even as of a few weeks ago, he was second only to John Cena in merchandise sold. Officially, Punk is still not suspended, nor fired, nor released, but simply on a leave. UFC star Chael Sonnen, who is friends with Punk, recently appeared on the Wrestling Observer Radio podcast and said that he had talked with Punk at one point. Sonnen said at first he thought what Punk had told him, which one would presume to be that he had left the company, was a work. But said at the time that he was gone, he believes now that he's speaking the truth. Obviously, Punk is gone. Punk will return when Punk wants to return. The only ones that know what Punk's next move is going to be, more than likely, is Vince and Triple H. According to the Wrestling Observer, Lisa Marie Varon, Victoria, or Tara in TNA, may be back to work for the WWE in some way, shape, or form, most likely as an NXT trainer. There's a women's tryout camp being planned for June, so she may be brought in for that. Okay, that would actually work out. She was great in WWE. She still looks great. She can still go in the ring. I'm sure she has a lot to teach the younger divas, so that would be a great role for her down at NXT. The New Age Outlaws will likely be off WWE TV for a while, as the loss to the Shield at WrestleMania 30 was their blow-off for their run. We're not going to miss the New Age Outlaws. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is indeed scheduled to be a WrestleMania tradition going forward. That could end up changing before WrestleMania 31. We don't know what's happening at WrestleMania 31. Nobody should be talking about WrestleMania 31 news, rumors, or anything about the show. It's too early to tell. We just got finished with WrestleMania 30. But the Memorial Battle Royal, it was nothing special. It created a WrestleMania moment for a good minute or two for Cesaro. The ending spot where he picked up Big Show was very, WrestleMania-esque. But I would not say that the Memorial Battle Royal should be a WrestleMania tradition. My honest opinion, it should be on the pre-show. There was absolutely nothing special about that. It added absolutely nothing to the WrestleMania 30 card. What else do we have here? According to Figure 4, FW4 Online, NXT champions The Ascension are likely to debut on WWE TV in the next few months, in addition to the NXT stars that were pushed on Monday's Raw. Bo Dallas and Adam Rose, if you guys don't know. With many talents being promoted to the main roster, look for Shawn Ricker to get a push on NXT TV soon. NXT champion Adrian Neville will stay on NXT through the end of the summer at the very least. With Paige winning the WWE Divas Championship on Raw, the NXT Women's title will likely be vacated with Charlotte or Sasha Banks as champion, being chased by Bayley. So you guys, need some news on NXT. That's what's going on right now in NXT as they're shuffling some of those guys who belong in the main roster, like Bo Dallas and Adam Rose. Those guys are going to be up to the main roster. The Ascension's going to be on the main roster. So they got to shuffle here and there to create new stars and push the newer faces down in NXT so they could eventually be moved up. So that's what's happening on NXT right now. Before WrestleMania 30, WWE had planned the Shield versus Evolution for Extreme Rules. If they go that direction, which they have already announced, it will be Evolution versus the Shield at Extreme Rules. If they do go in that direction, according to this report, it is said that Ric Flair will not be a part of the group with Batista, Triple H, and Randy Orton. Now, according to Justin LaBar, okay, on WrestleZone.com and Chairshot Reality, he actually stated in an article he wrote for the website and for BleacherReport.com as well that he believes Bo Dallas would be a perfect addition to Evolution with Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton. That would instantly make Bo Dallas credible. That would instantly fit in with his Bo-Leave because Triple H said believe in Evolution. If you want to create a credible new superstar, obviously standing next to Triple H, Batista, and Randy Orton will do such a thing. Okay? He also mentioned if they don't go the Bo Dallas route, then they go maybe Charlotte, which is Ric Flair's daughter. Maybe have a diva who's associated with one of the former members in Evolution as the fourth member of Evolution. Some say that Evolution doesn't even need a fourth member. But if you're going to bring Evolution back, common sense is to possibly build a new star like they did with Randy Orton and Batista back in the day with Evolution when they first joined. Some say that, they're already going to be pushing the Shield in this program because obviously Evolution will lay down for the Shield and the Shield will gain the victory at Extreme Rules and put them over. So, you can swing it several different ways with, varying opinions, but I do like Bo Dallas possibly being introduced to to Evolution, How else are you going to introduce Bo Dallas? When I first seen him on WWE TV, he looked bland, he looked boring, he really didn't have any character, he just came out, he was some scrub in black tights who got a pinfall over Wade Barrett. But now that he's got some character to him, he may possibly work out for Evolution. We don't know. It's all up to opinion. It's all up to the WWE creative. That'll be a great way to actually introduce him to the audience. That's what Justin LaBar is mentioning. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you want to see a fourth member in Evolution? If so, who do you want it to be? And don't name Ziggler or Barrett or The Miz or one of these fucking guys that are already on the roster, already established. It's got to be someone, a fresh face, someone new to WWE TV. Let me know who you guys think down below that you would want to see in Evolution if they do have a fourth member. While others say, you don't really need a fourth member because they're going to be putting over the Shield. They're going to be putting over 3 guys anyway. They're all going to be working towards getting Roman Reigns to that next level. This is what this program is going to be doing. It's going to be elevating Roman Reigns to that match one-on-one with Triple H at SummerSlam 2014. So let me know what you guys think down below of Evolution joining. Do they need a fourth member? If not, who do you think it would be? Let me know. Wrestling fans speaking out against Nancy Grace, that fucking old bitch, on CNN or MSNBC. I don't know what fucking station she's on. She's a fucking piece of shit. Alright, Nancy Grace is getting more mainstream media coverage than ever before, including from E! Online, that actually got the hashtag Cancel Nancy Grace, which has been trending worldwide on social media, and a petition on Change.org, which currently has over 12,000 signatures. This was as of early this week. That may be in the 20,000s right now to get her off TV. She slandered the WWE. She slandered their wellness policy. She slandered the Ultimate Warrior and his name after his death. Fuck Nancy Grace. If you guys missed the interview, it's on YouTube right now. Go check that out. All you gotta do is search Nancy Grace Ultimate Warrior or whatever the fuck comes up. You'll see a 5-minute clip of her talking about the Ultimate Warrior and Owen Hart dying of steroids. This bitch couldn't be any more clueless. Fuck Nancy Grace. I don't even want to talk about her because I got more important things to fill you guys in on. Fuck Nancy Grace. In regards to Triple H taking over more power within WWE, it said that Triple H is very open to referencing the internet and responding to IWC fans through creative bookings and promos, while Vince McMahon completely ignores the internet. That's what I like about Triple H. He's open to referencing the internet. Nobody has better ideas and is more creative than us passionate fans here on, on YouTube and on the internet. So I like Triple H about that. Vince has really got to be a little bit more open-minded. He's very closed-minded when it comes to things like this. If he had a few more outside sources to maybe give him some more ideas, some fresher ideas, maybe things will be a little bit better, but I do like that about Triple H. He's very open to referencing the IWC, so that's very positive. It is reported last week, before the number came out, that the investment community was going to be satisfied with 1 million subscribers, but analysts were predicting a lot more for the WWE Network. There was a feeling that any number below 850,000 wouldn't be a good sign, but would be workable. The investment community is expected more growth over the next few years, with the idea that whatever was announced would be 3 or 4 times that within a few years. It was said that any number under 650,000 would not be good. The number was actually 667,287 to be exact. That was not seen as a failure, but seen as a major disappointment to both Wall Street in New York and to those in the company. Listen. 667,000 people who subscribe to the WWE Network, I'll fucking take it. You got 1 month in. What do these people want? Money-hungry motherfuckers. That's all they are. 667,000 fucking people subscribe to the WWE Network after 1 fucking month, and you're bitching about that? Give this thing a year. You will have your 1 million fucking subscribers. It's a great fucking network. The shows that they're putting on, the quality shows that they're putting on, the documentaries they're putting on, the Ultimate Warrior tribute they did, the Daniel Bryan documentary before he won the WWE Championship, the catalog of all pay-per-views, Wrestlemania 30 for free. If you didn't watch Wrestlemania 30 and you want the network, they're giving it to you for free in a free trial. What more do you want? The WWE is pushing this the way they should be pushing it. They will get that 1 million subscriber base before the end of the year, I guarantee it. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dean Ambrose is currently 10 days away from having the longest WWE United States title reign since it became a WWE title. Ambrose is currently at 333 days, and MVP has the longest reign at 343 days. Nobody cares. The title is a fucking prop. Ambrose has not even defended that title in a year. At least. The title is fucking meaningless. It has absolutely no value to the WWE mid-card. That is my honest opinion. Now, news on Cesaro, which is very interesting. WWE is currently working on a new entrance theme for Cesaro. While they specifically went with no music for his entrance, because they felt it would be a good talking point, it was always supposed to be a short-term situation. How long they'll go before they debut Cesaro's new entrance music is unknown, but it's definitely not meant to be a permanent or long-term solution. In addition, regarding Cesaro not having theme music and the reason behind that, the Wrestling Observer posted a huge update on current plans for the King of Swing in their latest newsletter. The rumors of a huge post-WrestleMania push for Cesaro still seem to be the case, and very much so. WWE has been handing out Cesaro section signs to their live audiences, and are hoping that the WWE Universe will begin rallying behind the new Paul Heyman guy, much like they did for Daniel Bryan. They are hoping that they can manufacture that raw support for Cesaro that Daniel Bryan developed organically with the Yes Movement. Furthermore, WWE really doesn't want to present Cesaro as a full-fledged heel, despite pairing him with Paul Heyman. The plan is to keep him favorable with the crowd, even though he's working with a heel manager that just had a hand in ending the streak at WrestleMania 30. In somewhat of a confusing and conflicting part of the story, WWE might decide to put Cesaro against Brock Lesnar rather quickly. This would contradict another report that indicated Lesnar would challenge Daniel Bryan for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship upon his return. However, the idea is that the next guy to beat Lesnar would receive a huge babyface rub, considering Lesnar just ended the longest, most infamous streak in sports entertainment. There is still time and several directions WWE could decide to go in with Cesaro, but one thing that seems certain is the fact that they want to push him and push him hard going forward. One problem here. I don't care about Cesaro beating Lesnar and giving him that rub. If there's one guy that deserves that rub, it certainly is Cesaro. But, what I find a problem here is that the WWE is trying to manufacture something that Daniel Bryan did on his own. The WWE did not ever want Daniel Bryan to explode the way he did. The WWE had no interest in the Yes Movement. The Yes Movement took off on its own to the point where you're seeing it at college football games, college basketball games. You're seeing this now in the Pittsburgh Pirates dugout after they hit a home run. They got their little yes thing going on. And that's an ode to Daniel Bryan and him winning the World Heavyweight Championship. This all was done by Daniel Bryan on his own. The WWE didn't want anything to do with this. Now the WWE is trying to manipulate the fucking audience and have them, hold Cesaro section signs and try to build off what they did with Daniel Bryan. No, it's not the same. If you don't let the crowd cheer for who they want on their own, if you're going to force something on the crowd, it's not going to go over very well. I'm telling you right now, history does not lie. Okay? They forced Ryback down our throats. What happened? Absolutely fucking nothing. He's nothing but a mid-card jobber right now. They shoved Curtis Axel down our throat. It failed. Okay? And I have others that I can't really think of right now. But what I'm trying to tell you is, things need to happen naturally. If you're going to have Cesaro be pushed, I'd rather see him as a babyface. Okay? Obviously, if they want to put him against Lesnar, he's got to go over Lesnar. That would make him a babyface. There you go. You got Cesaro built up. He's elevated to the fucking upper rung of the WWE, and he's set to go. Okay? Whether he's still with Paul Heyman or not, I don't know. But That's a money match waiting to happen. I'm sure it will happen. I'd rather see right now that this is not rushed. Cesaro's push needs to happen organically. I would rather see Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan upon his return for the WWE Championship. I think that is the money match right now for the summer that SummerSlam should be built around. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think about the support for Cesaro and the WWE's mindset going into this. That they're trying to produce something that isn't going to happen organically. The WWE should not have any say in what happens here. Okay? They should not have any say with what happens here with Cesaro. It needs to happen on its own. The fans need to cheer for who they want to cheer for. They can't be forced to cheer for someone they don't want. Then they're going to ultimately ruin Cesaro's push and his momentum, and it's all going to be wasted. That's just my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think down below. ESPN is expected to make a major play for WWE interviewer Renee Young very soon. It said that Renee has impressed a lot of officials from major TV networks with her smoothness in her work with WWE since coming over from the Score in Canada. I don't know. They took the coach. They took someone else. I forgot his name right now. But ESPN certainly loves the WWE interviewers. I don't know what's going to happen with Renee Young. I like Renee Young. She's very comfortable. She's very, savvy. She's got a lot of knowledge. She's a big wrestling fan from what I understand. It would be a loss for WWE, but we'll see what happens. Time permitting, Alexander Rusev is scheduled to have a squash match at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. No word yet on who the victim will be. As long as we see Lana, right? I know you guys like Lana. Also, according to the Wrestling Observer, a tournament to crown the new #1 contender for Big E's Intercontinental title was not the original plan. The original idea for Monday's Raw was to do a four-way between Big Show, Jack Swagger, Cesaro, and possibly Christian, where the winner would face Big E at Extreme Rules. Vince McMahon felt that a four-way did nothing to elevate a strong contender for the IC title, and felt that a tournament would create a stronger contender. Good job, Vince McMahon. Great idea. Christian not being cleared due to the concussion was going to change the match, but was said to be a non-factor in the decision from changing it from a four-way to a tournament. Show obviously did not end up in the tournament, but that was probably because he wasn't going to win anyway, and they didn't want to pin him or cheaply disqualify him in the tournament when he could have just lost without being pinned in the four-way. Cesaro was scheduled to win the four-way and go on to face Big E at Extreme Rules. I do expect Cesaro to win this tournament. If not Cesaro, Wade Barrett will be your new IC champion. That is my prediction. Tamina Snuka will face Paige. Finally, to end this week's News and Rumors, Tamina Snuka will face Paige for the Divas Championship at Extreme Rules. The original plan was for AJ Lee to get her rematch until AJ asked for some time off. I'm assuming to spend time with CM Punk. This is better anyway. AJ Lee versus Paige for the Divas Championship at SummerSlam when she comes back. Book it. SummerSlam will be big this year. I guarantee that. Great job, WWE. Hopefully, you guys build up the Divas division and make it a little bit more tolerable in the weeks to come. That is your News and Rumors, guys. If you enjoyed this week's episode, if you enjoyed my opinions, if you enjoyed this week's show, let me know what you think down below. Please leave your like on the way out. It greatly helps out my channel. I am almost at that 15,000 subscriber mark. Let's do it, guys. Team JD collectively joining force to get JD to 15,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, guys, for all the support. I am out. I will see you guys on Monday Night Raw review following Monday's show. Tuesday, as always, I'll see you guys then. Take care. Until then, I'm JD. I'll talk to you guys later.